This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
Hello, I'd like to welcome you to paradise, where everyone is riding on a satellite, sending signals, praying for miracles. We should have seen this coming. Hear me out, because I'm only gonna say this one more time. Hear me out, and open your eyes and take a look at all the signs. You think I'm crazy, but I'm not the only one. Call me crazy. I've been thinking maybe we are not alone. Call me crazy. I've been thinking lately it's been the same way all along. Look around and tell me you don't think that's
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very, very special episode of the BCP, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is long overdue. Real quick, want to thank our sponsors, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in Englishtown, New Jersey, over at the Flea Market from 8 to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Check them out online on eBay or at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. And Jaco, we're also brought to you by, Intense Wrestling Alliance. They got a big show coming up. It's going to be Saturday, April 22nd in Nutley, New Jersey, the Nut House. I know you know that place, Jaco. We're going to see Osito, Brandon Downey, Rey Calitri, Daniel Alexander, the Vicious One, PJ Savage, and this guy, of course, please welcome into the show. He is a former IWA Tag Team Champion. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And he is the #1 contender for the IWA Heavyweight Championship. Please welcome to the show, long overdue, our good friend, Mr. Jaco. Welcome in, sir. How are you, bro?
Thank you for having me. But if we're doing introductions, might as well get mine over my little shtick. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, creatures, freaks of all ages, just him, his I, his me, is the greatest damn showman of this industry, Jaco. Welcome to the greatest damn show.
You know, I love me some Jaco. I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, I've had my problems with you guys, but. Yep. Things have changed. Everyone's kind of going a different direction. We're really going to dive into that deep tonight. Real quick, I want to shout out our friend Andrew Pace in the community, man. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him before we did dive into everything. Just a great podcaster, mentor, and friend to me. I guess we lost him. I just saw before we did this podcast. So I want to send well wishes to him and his family, man. Throws us off. I think we're all a big community in this crazy wrestling world. And that's what it's about. So I'm appreciative to Andrew. I'm so sorry to see that news. And I just felt I should say something before we go on. So prayers, thoughts with you and your family. Always a weird segue, Jaco, but I do appreciate you making the time, man. And the greatest showman is here, man. And you have certainly been through a lot this past year, dude. There's so much to talk about. Let's talk about the greatest showman, man. And I'm not just saying your backstage interviews, your little thing that you did just right here, but your in-ring performance. The last show you dived off the top turnbuckle onto everybody, man. Getting it done in the ring. What does the greatest showman mean to you, man? What's your philosophy in that ring?
So the greatest showman for me, I get this multiple times. They ask me, they don't understand half the time, especially what doing Takeover. I don't see it. He doesn't come out dressed like a showman. He doesn't come out, no ringleader outfit, no top hat, no marching band jacket, and that's really not the case. Like, I'm not saying like I'm gonna come out dressed like a character from the movie The Greatest Showman. No, like The Greatest Showman is a spectacle. It is what I do. It's every single time I walk out there, I perform, I put on the best possible show that I can fathom. I'm going to give everything and anything, absolutely my all to everything I do. That's what The Greatest Showman is. The Greatest Showman is the spectacle. It is captivating. It is cultivating. It's grabbing everyone's attention. That's what The Greatest Showman is. That's what that lies for me.
Dude, and you show it in and out of the ring, man. I've been a fan of you. I was really excited to finally get this going. And you know, I say this a lot, but I really mean it. It was long overdue to have you on this show, man. I'm so glad that we finally get to talk, man. And you know, stop me if I dive too deep into this, man. But we are going to talk about Takeover a little bit, man. And I know things have gone different ways. I have opinions. I think you guys made so much noise and you were very strong as a unit. Obviously, we know Takeover versus STP. You guys made a lot of noise. You had a phenomenal show. I had the honor of calling that. And you guys have done some great stuff. You and Face alone, just at no pun intended, face value with the two of you guys has been magic for the past, 3 years that I've known you guys. I've really enjoyed your tag team work, man. And it's just everything seems to have fallen apart, man. So forgive me if I dive too deep into this. I like to psychoanalyze, but the first, you know, I had heard some rumblings. I have sources that Takeover might be done. We saw, in fact, in your match of the year, congratulations, a match of the year winner here at the BCP, you guys versus the Goons. Yeah. Bougie, I believe it was you he hit with the briefcase. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. And that was the beginning of the end, man. As someone who was a big part of Takeover, man, you guys did so much. Did you feel maybe Bougie was getting too much spotlight? Maybe PJ was too much of the face? Was it something like that? Or was it just business to go your separate ways? Because it looked like at times it got personal in that ring.
It's a lot of like everything you said. Like there were like you said, Bougie hit me with the briefcase. Was it originally intentional? We don't know. But the fact that he decided to stand over and just look at me with no remorse and then say what he continued to say after in the ring, that's on that. So, fair enough. But there was a lot of what you said. There was some people getting spotlights that other people felt like maybe they should have. There was just cracks. There was cracks in the armor. We were supposed to be this like indestructible force. We were these four guys that were coming to take over the scene. And we were damn close in such a short time, because realistically, Takeover's run was probably maybe a year, if that. And in that year, we've done a lot, I would say. I would personally feel like we've done a lot. Just based off of the Takeover versus STP show alone, that goes to show like what we were capable of doing when we really went full throttle, full force into something that we truly believed in. Because if there was one thing that we could say about all of us, whether we get along, whether we hate each other, whatever, when we believe in something, we're going full force. And damn sure we believe in ourselves as individuals, as whatever. But yeah, it was these cracks in the armors. They just kept opening up little by little by little, and then it got to the point where it was just we couldn't keep it together anymore, I guess. Once Bougie did that, things went south, and then me, PJ, and Face, we had the idea, okay, we're gonna keep this going. We're gonna try to keep this strong, and we could have. But then those cracks they were still there. They were still there, and IWA, you've seen it firsthand. First, it started with Face. Face put my hand out, jumped off the apron. That was his decision. He decided, I don't know what or why, but that was his decision. He decided to do what he needed to do for him. That's Face. And then PJ, at Intensity, Season 2, Episode 1, decided he was going to low blow me. Yeah.
It's crazy night.
All my friends in this group. I lost all my friends.
It's crazy, and your tone almost seems. You know, I talked to all y'all about this. Bougie's coming on later this week, man. Again, I'm not playing favorites, dude. Just the messenger for all y'all. You know, just doing my job over here. But your tone even sounds similar to that of PJ, man. And there's so much I want to talk about, the dynamic between you and Face, man. But I can't bury the lead, man. Let's get right into it, because I believe it's April 22nd in the Nutley Nut House, IWA. Sure. You are the #1 contender to take on PJ Savage for his IWA Heavyweight Championship, man. Is this, I mean, the cherry on top, man? You guys have been through a lot right now, man. But when you get between the ropes, sometimes you have to take the feelings out of it, especially if you want to walk out of there with top gold. Savage has been, I mean, just running through the independents. He was one of our breakthrough stars of 2022, man. You can't let the feelings get the best of you. That being said, how sweet would it be to take the gold away from PJ on a personal level?
On a personal and professional level, regardless, it's going to be sweet. Like I said earlier, one thing that we do, we believe in ourselves. And I believe truly, deeply, I believe that if there's one to take that title away from Savage, it is me. I may not seem like it to a lot of people. I may not be that ideal heavyweight to a lot of people. I may not be people's cup of tea in that spotlight. I get that. Whatever. That's their opinions. But there's one thing you can't deny about me. I do put on one hell of a show. I put on one great-ass show every single time. PJ Savage versus Jaco. I promise you that's not going to be something anyone wants to miss. I promise that. I promise you I'm walking out as the IWA Heavyweight Champion. I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. And I still have words for Mr. PJ Savage, which haven't been released yet. But Intensity, episode 3, 4, whatever we're on, this Sunday, we definitely got some words out there.
Very, very interesting, man. And, good luck to you in that match, man. PJ, has certainly been killing it right now. And I spoke to PJ and he had said, I was like, I feel like if we can get you guys in a room together, if we could say, hey, we can make money with this, feuding. And he said he didn't want to do the feuding and all that kind of stuff. It seems to kind of come around a little bit. IWA has been very supportive of the takeover and that movement, and seemingly the fallout. So I love that you are getting that opportunity. Very, very well deserved, sir. I got to ask you this though, man. Let's talk about Face, man, because that's how I got to know you. Jaco and Face, the faceless ones, man. In a tag team. Look, Face, he doesn't give me a lot when I interview him, all right? He's very intense. He scares me, all right? He doesn't give me a lot, all right? Sometimes I try, I'm doing stuff with you guys. I try to do stuff with you. You've even spoken for him at times. Be like, hey, man, he doesn't do all that. He's not about that social media life, blah, blah, blah. That's stuff. I respect it. All right. But I don't understand the guy. I don't know the guy. He literally just left you hanging, man. That's your partner. Usually sometimes your brother in and out of the ring, man. I mean, that relationship being severed, that might have hurt you more than anything that went on with the takeover. I mean, what were your thoughts when Face literally went into business for himself?
There's one thing about Face. He's going to do whatever he needs to do. He's going to go wherever he needs to go. Face is a monster of an individual. It's clear as day. Anyone that sees him, they know it. He is a monster of an individual. Sometimes a lot harder to keep tame than what people may like to perceive. But am I shocked? Kind of. Should I be shocked? Not really. We all seen what he was doing leading up to it, If you were very easily willing to stand beside a man who talked down on your brother, hit him over the head with a briefcase, and stood over him proudly. If you were able to stand beside that man for weeks and weeks and weeks after that action, I don't know. I don't think I should have been as surprised as I was.
It's crazy, man. And again, you're here on the show. I don't think Face is coming on the podcast anytime soon. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't expect him to. He seems to talk with his fists a lot more than he talks to us, man. And I'm just asking this is the one tough question I'll ask you here. Jaco, feel free to no comment on this one, man. But, sometimes I see this a lot on the independents, man. I do truly feel as a faction, you guys all elevated yourself. Perhaps maybe you were even stronger. We're going to find out, man, because if you do get that heavyweight gold, it's going to be that much sweeter. That being said, I do feel sometimes that tag teams, unless you're really, really good, and you guys were amongst the best in the Northeast, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. I've been watching you for a long time. Sometimes you guys get kind of pigeonholed. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to get, you know, certain opportunities and certain looks, whether they're singles titles, certain opponents, certain places to be booked, man. You know, as a tag team, I see that a lot. I see people struggle with that every day. Did that have anything to do? I mean, obviously Face walked out on you, but did that have anything to do with the decision to go your separate ways?
Me personally, I enjoyed everything we were doing. I felt like we were on the right path to continue. But it is harder as a tag team. It's no secret, you know. When you see these shows, half the time there'll be maybe 2 tag teams, maybe. Majority of the time, it's just one. There's just one spot, and if you're champions, then someone against them. There's so many times you could be the number 1 contender, 2 set champions. So, are those slots limited? Yes. Did I feel like we were good enough to withhold those slots? Yes. But to each their own. To each their own. I love tag team wrestling. I thought we were selling very well. We could have excelled even further within tag team wrestling. I felt like we brought something very different to it. I felt like my unorthodox style, my loudness, his eerie mystique about him, I feel like we brought something completely different to the table, and I feel like we could have excelled very well to succeed in other things, like said IWA Heavyweight Championship, or this March 25th, I have lined up the TCW Lightweight Championship in a fatal 4-way. These opportunities wouldn't be at hand if I was still in that tag team. So there are pros and there are cons to that split, and yeah, I don't know. These are still fresh wounds, so I'm still trying to figure things out on my own as well. But yeah.
I mean, great answer, man. You're looking at it from both sides of the coin, and I appreciate that, man. You mentioned the shot at TCW lightweight gold, obviously the heavyweight gold going on at IWA. Is it for you chasing the gold right now, the singles titles, because you are no stranger to gold, chasing the singles titles? Is it certain competitors? Is it you know, maybe another long-term story? Because you guys were arguably in the best story of 2022. You were one of our nominees for sure. The rise and fall of Takeover. Is it the long-term story? Like, what are your goals now that you're on your own, or is it all of the above?
Who doesn't? Everyone can say they don't want to, but deep down within the heart, everyone wants a nice little strap around the shoulder, around the waist. Everyone wants a little something, but it's not just that. It's literally, I want to prove to myself, because when I was in said group, when I was in the Takeover, I feel like I was probably heavily overlooked. Realistically, I feel like I was heavily overlooked. I feel like now that I ventured off into my own thing, I feel like people are starting to see just how good I really am, just what I can actually do, what I could bring, what I could say, what I could do, everything. I feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg, and I just want to continue to show people how good I truly am. I just want those opportunities to keep rising, keep growing, and just show people, baby, I'm the greatest damn showman, and that's for a reason. It's just not just a moniker, but it's a realistic fact. You know, that's my set right now. That's where I'm at.
Now that you're a singles competitor, who do you want to face here on the independents that you have not locked up with yet?
There are so many people.
You give me a couple. What do you got?
There are so many people. Like, I have Titan Championship Wrestling right now, so I get to work. I get to go against someone like Rocket, who I've been wanting to go against for a while.
Love Rocket.
There are people with underestimated, overlooked that I really want to work with, and people that are heavily looked, that people do know, that people know are these top tier guys. Like, someone I feel like is very overlooked, and to some people's degree, not maybe others, but a man named Prince Ahmed.
Sure.
I've grown with Prince Ahmed. I know Prince Ahmed very well. I would love to fucking lock horns with Prince Ahmed. And there are people who are very well known, like a Gabriel Sky, who I would love to tear it in there with.
One of the best.
Nikolai White.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those are guys that I feel like are killing the game. Big Game Leroy. Those are guys that are killing the game right now, that are just nonstop, like, tearing the house down every opportunity to get those high intense, fast paced, hard hitting style. That's my niche. That's what I love. That's the type of movement that I want to go towards. But yeah, those are like the people I would say are like very high on my list. The Gabe Skies, Nikolai Weiss, the Prince Ahmeds, the Rocket, people like that, people to that degree.
Gabe Sky are arguably one of the best on the independents as far as in-ring work, for sure. Always great. And I would pay to see that match. You maybe even call it one day. Jaco and Gabriel Sky. Let's manifest it. Let's put it out into the world right now. Things have happened off the BCP before. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's see what happens. Let's put it out there, bro. Dude, let's make it happen. Who trained you, bro? Are you a New York guy? What area are you from?
I'm currently in the Bronx, New York, but I've trained under Johnny Rodz, 1996. You're a
Johnny Rodz guy too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Johnny Rodz guy. We all grew up, trained within the same spot. All four of us of the Takeover: PJ, Face, Bougie, and a couple of others that you've probably seen on the independents as well. We've all started in Johnny Rodz in that dingy old boxing gym in Dumbo, Brooklyn.
Dude, that's so cool. And a lot of you Johnny Rodz products, there's a lot of you out there for many years, some great products that have gone very, very far, man. It's so cool to see. But the thing that I hear, man, is it takes a little while to get out of the nest over there, man. Were you kind of with PJ and all them when they left? If you want to comment on that, man, that's just a common tale that I'm told here on the podcast.
So when you're studying under the tutelage of Mr. Johnny Rodz, there's one rule, and you can't go out and venture off. You can't do independence. You're a homegrown student, and you stay here, and this is how you're going to make it. That was what we were taught. And he's very old school in the sense, and I know that's how it was at one point, and I know it worked at one point. But in this day and age, I don't necessarily know if that's the right way. You know, everyone has their opinion on what's the right way. You know, no one truly knows what's the right way. Everyone has an opinion. But me personally, I felt like that wasn't the right way. I wanted to venture off. I wanted to work these guys that I was seeing on the. I wanted to do these things. I just wanted to do more, and we all did. Everyone from Takeover, we all were there at the same time. We all decided to make that jump at the same time. It was like fresh out of COVID. Gleason's gym just opened up, but there were heavy boundaries. We couldn't touch. We couldn't really do anything. It was just like, I want more. Like, I've invested so much of my life into this that I don't want to just be wasting it away hoping. I want to push. I want to grind. I want to work for that opportunity. And if something doesn't happen, at least I knew I gave it my all, as opposed to just waiting. We didn't want to wait. We're not guys that are just going to wait and have things fall in our hands. We're going to go and we're going to do everything in our power to take everything that we want.
Yeah. And you guys did literally take over. You guys did that. And I appreciate you sharing that. I'm an outsider, obviously looking in, and that's just a tale I've heard from many people we've interviewed here, man. And, you know, certain things, sure, old school ways certainly work. I certainly don't know anything about wrestling or being in the ring, man. He's had a lot of success, but also we live in a little bit more of that reality era. We live a little bit more of that social media era as well. You know, at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, certain things work for certain reasons, man. And that's your guys' problem. That's for you guys to figure out, man. And I'm so glad that there are opportunities and ways for you guys to figure things out. That's my favorite word, is opportunity. There's so much for you guys here, not only in the Northeast, but the independents at large. Are the goals like the PWIs and the AEW Darks and all that kind of things? Are those like kind of short goals for you as well?
Yeah, those definitely, or just those, like, opportunities, those little ounces of opportunities to get to inch further up. AEW Darks. So that way you become a regular. So that way you could probably get a Rampage. That way you probably get that contract signed somewhere. That's the long-term goal, is to sign somewhere, to have my name signed down on a piece of paper. And to be able to do this on a weekly basis, to provide for my family, show them like I did this. This shit's possible. Or I'm not someone who's supposed to make it in any way, shape, or form, but I fucking made it. That's the long-term goal. Those short-term goals are definitely like AEW Dark, the PWI, those things that, you know, you look upon, like the PWI, look upon as a kid, like you scroll through the names or whatever, and then, you know, oh, who's this guy? You look them up, and then you find somebody new. That's what I want to be too. So those are definitely the short-term girls to the long term.
Well, you mentioned scrolling through that PWI, man. Who were your guys, man? Not to be cliche, but I got to ask you, man, like, who inspired you? Like, you know, was it like the Legends, the Undertaker, the Ruthless Aggression era? Who were the guys? Maybe it was tag team wrestlers. Who inspired you?
So growing up, Taker, like you said, Taker was that, like, that awe-inspiring figure. That's where I got, like, the idea of the words of, like, captivating, because he would walk down and he would have the longest entrance ever and not do anything but walk. You were captivated for every single step, for every inch that he moved his hat, for every inch he took his trench off. You were captivated. You were watching. You were hooked. And that he just had this aura about him off just an entrance. That's one thing, like, that we instilled on ourselves for a long time as well. Like, if you did something right in your entrance, you're already doing something right. He was like a firm of that. And then, you know, you had your smaller guys like Jeff Hardy was a very heavy influence on myself. The risk taking, he was that guy that when I seen him, that's where I believed, okay, I can actually do this, because he's not the stereotypical wrestler. He wasn't the stereotypical body guy or trunks and tights with the tan, the muscles. He was like long, colorful hair, arm sleeves, cargo pants, Hot Topic outfit, you know, just very completely different. And then to see him climb the mountaintop and become heavyweight champion at one point, it was like, okay, this is actually achievable. Someone actually made it. Someone that appears to look similar to I do actually made it. Okay, I can actually do this. So he was definitely a heavy influence, just not just that high flying, the high risk abilities, but also just seeing someone like that climb said mountaintop.
Yeah, dude, two of my favorites as well, man. And that was still is another big thing about Jeff, is just how fans would gravitate to him and relate to him. Shameless promo, check out Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast with John Alba, that, you know, just did an episode on Jeff, and we hear he's on the mend and doing well, man. So hopefully he gets himself right and everything's good with him, and we wish him all the best as well. Jaco, I have to ask you this one, man, because we talked about opportunity, man. There really is a lot of opportunity, especially here in the Northeast at ISPW. You know, I tell Victoria all the time, we are so lucky to be sharing the locker rooms with the Tommy Dreamers, the Crowbars, you know, for someone like me, Dave LaGreca. It's so cool just to speak with them and pick their brains and stuff like that. And then we see this flurry of AEW talent come through the independents all the time. It's so very cool to see, man. These fantasy matches can come true. What's the match for you? So maybe someone from AEW, maybe a legend, like people who are actively doing the independents right now.
Like the big go-to match on the independent, any guy I want, any guy at all.
Maybe like an AEW guy or like a you know, a Hall of Famer, because some of these guys are still wrestling.
I'm gonna go like
please,
kind of like typical answer. I feel like a lot of people are gonna give, but like, especially for this moment, but I'm going to say Will Ospreay, because he's at the top of his game right now, and just everything he's doing, it just hits. And yeah, I would definitely say Will Ospreay, because he's putting on a show. He's one person who knows how to put on a show, and there's another person who knows how to put on one hell of a show. I know, damn.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say Will Ospreay.
I think that's a great answer, man. He has had potentially so many matches of the year for 2022. Every time I see him wrestle, it's almost a match of the year. He's killed. There's something I got to go back and watch. Phenomenal, man. I got to ask this one before we get out of here, Jaco. It's just on my mind, man. I'm a fan of all y'all. I'm so proud of what you all have accomplished, because a lot of times especially because I'm close with a lot of wrestlers, man. It's like, how do I stand out? How do I make noise? How do I do this? And you guys did accomplish that. You guys were at one point stronger together. Now you're fractured. We're seeing how that falls out. I'm just going to ask you this one, man. You don't have to go into it. Will we ever, in some form or fashion, see Takeover back together again, in your opinion?
In my opinion, you never know. But right now, I'm going to say a hard no. At least on my end. Hard no on my end for now. You never know what the future holds. You never know what lies, where it lies. But for right now, it's a hard no for me. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying being the greatest damn showman on my own, creating my own path, creating my own shows, the opportunities ahead of me. I'm enjoying the fact that I have my own name now. I don't have to worry about anybody behind me, anybody hitting me from behind, or low blowing me, or walking out on me. You know, I'm enjoying what I'm doing so much right now. I'm having the time of my life right now. I'm having way more fun than I ever did. So I'm going to say no for now. Definitely no for now.
It's like a bad ex-girlfriend, man. I get it. And I appreciate you saying that, bro. Jaco, thank you so much for making the time. I am so glad truly that we were finally able to do this, man. And I think now was the right time for sure, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. But before we get out of here, we are all about that shameless promo here on the BCP. You know, I know you had some combined Twitter accounts or some things going on with social media. Tell everyone where they can follow Jaco, get the merch, 8x10s, all that good stuff.
You can follow me anywhere. Instagram, Showman_Jaco. Twitter, just Showman Jaco. Facebook, follow my personal. It's cool. Jacob Torres. I don't mind. I follow comes with a right, baby. Pro wrestling, Jaco, Showman Jaco, greatest showman. Look it up. I'm all around, baby. You want a t-shirt? Let me know. I'll bring some to shows. I got you. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. You want to see me at shows? I have Titan Championship Wrestling, March 25th, Light Heavyweight Championship match. I have Win, the big fight, March 31st, Richfield Park, New Jersey. And I have some other smatterings of shows that maybe I'm not allowed to say yet, but yeah. And of course, the big one, IWA Mayhem, April 22nd, Greatest Damn Showman versus PJ Savage for the IWA Heavyweight Champion and new. Manifest it. And new.
Jaco, thank you for making the time. Good luck to you, especially in your heavyweight championship match. Thank you for making the time. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course, man. And guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.